Toward Ministries, bringing revival back to America by lifting up Jesus Christ, teaching His message and how it's relevant to our lives today. If you'd like to contact us, you can check out our Facebook page. Our number is at the top of the page, so give us a call. Also, you can look at and listen to previous messages that we've posted, and we've been getting a lot of good response from our radio broadcast, and we want to thank you for that. Check out our Facebook page at Kenneth Hotard Ministries. That's KENNITHHOTARD. And now here's Reverend Kenneth Hotard.
This is Brother Hotard. It's good to be with you again today to bring you the message of Jesus Christ. We preached last week on the difference between Jesus and Satan. I want to get back on that this week and let you know something, that Jesus is special. And I can see so many people with a hate for him. So many people have such a hate. And they can't mention his name around them. They schools, they take the kids just go around talking about Jesus in school. They want to expel him. But I want to tell you something. You can do what you want with Jesus in your life. But he's the second most powerful person that lives. Nobody can compete with him except God. God's the only one that has more power than him, and he's God's son. So you know he has pretty good clout with him. And I want you to say, you can go against Jesus all you want to. You can fight him all you want to. You can hate him all you want to. But you will have to stand before him on the judgment day. And every knee's going to bow. Every tongue's going to confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. You're going to do it. Hate him if you want to. But you will do it. And when you do it, you're not going to do you any good then. It's too late. Some people like Satan. Think, oh, Satan is somebody special. I hear him talk sometime about how Satan is the king of hell. And they think, well, Satan is the big shot down there. Well, I got news for you. Satan's not king of hell. That is going to be his punishment, just like it's going to be everybody else's punishment. And those that pick Satan to be on his side or think they're going to have it made because it went that way, I got news for you. Satan is a loser. I want you to hear me today. Satan is a loser. He got kicked out of heaven because he's a loser. He's never prospered in the earth like he wants to because he's a loser. And the end time, he's going to be a loser because they're going to be chained up, sent to hell, and he's going to spend eternity there. And so we want you to know that I believe that there's a lot of people out there, especially our young people, are getting where they think Satan is somebody instead of Jesus Christ. And we need to correct that and bring it to the attention that Satan is not the somebody. Jesus is still the same one, and he's great. Let's have your Bible. Let's turn to Isaiah. And 20. Isaiah the 14th chapter and the 12th verse. This is what happened to Satan when he was kicked out of heaven. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nation? Thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend unto heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mountain of congregation on the side of the north, and I will ascend above the highest of the clouds. I'll be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit, that they that see shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, say, is this the man who made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdom? The Bible said that Satan went up there and he was going to take over. He was going to build his throne above God's throne, and he did that. He tried to do that anyway, and 1/3 of the angels followed him. That's a lot of angels. But he convinced them that God was wasn't giving them what they deserved, and they should have got. And we got a lot of that going on in America right now. We got people think they deserve something that they never earned, and they think they deserve more. But I want to tell you something. That is the way Satan has teached and taught people. You should have more, and because you don't have more, you should be against the one that's in charge. But here's Satan. He's up there, and he's going to do all this, and he got thrown out of heaven. And when I was praying about this morning, we see people are thinking that Satan is so great, and many of them worship it. And you'd be surprised how many people in the world today worship Satan. And they worship Satan because they think Satan is going to be king of heaven, hell, and because they're going to be in hell, they're going to have a better because they worship Satan. But it's not the way it's going to be. It's a terrible thing that's going to happen. But yet, we find that a third of the angels fell with Lucifer. And as I was praying about this morning, the Spirit spoke to me and told me, he says, a third fell, but 2/3 didn't fall. And so, to compete with God, he still only has a third, and God has 2/3. So he's still far more powerful than Lucifer is. But I tell you what, you don't need the angels to be powerful than Lucifer, but he still has more power. And so I'm trying to get this across this morning, and I'm having a little problem with it. But I want you to understand that God is still God. God will always be God. Nobody's going to take his place. His Son is the second most powerful person there is. And he stands with the Father. And I'm going to stand with the Father for the rest of my life here and all of my life up there, because I believe in him. But I want to tell you what, Satan is a fallen creature. He's not one that can conquer anything. He's not one that has great power. He's not got one. He appears, and he likes to appear as a very powerful person. And he likes to appear. And even the young people today are telling you to sell your soul to the devil. You know what? Some of them are doing it. And so, Satan is not what we think he is. God is. Let's read that 16th verse again. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth tremble, that did shake kingdoms? I like that, because once Satan is changed, and once Satan is bound, people are going to look at him and say, is this the one that was thought he was so powerful? Is this the one we was afraid of? Is this the one that did what he did, we thought could do so much? Because he's not going to look like he's very powerful, and he's going to look like just like what he is, a nobody. You can follow Satan if you want to, but you're going to be a loser. And I'm trying to get that across this morning, because I want you to understand something. Satan is a loser. And I want you to understand, he is not a winner. He's never won, and he's not going to win. God is going to win, and that's the most important thing. But what can Satan do? Oh, I tell you what, Satan actually can't do anything. He's got some power, but he can't really do anything. He can't do anything God won't let him do. That's for sure. God tells you don't do it, he can't do it. And if you tell him he can't do it, he can't do it. Do you know that Jesus gave us power? Behold, I give unto you power over all power of the enemy. He gave us power. But we walk around scared of everything. I don't like to watch Christian people scared of everything. I want you to understand, you don't have to be afraid of the devil. But you need to pray and stay prayed up, that's for sure. And you don't have to be afraid of the devil, because you got power over the devil. Now, if you have your Bibles, I want to go, and we're going to go we're in the Garden of Eden. I want to show you some things in that. In that 3rd chapter, in the 2nd verse, the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the tree of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God says, ye shall not eat of it, but neither do you touch it, lest you die. And the serpent said unto the woman, you shall not surely die, for God does know that in the day you eat thereof, your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as God, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the fruit was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eye, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took the fruit thereof, and did eat, and give unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both of them were open, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed 4 fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons. Now, this is the part that I haven't never understood. I've mentioned it several times. If you listen to my broadcast, you heard me mention it several times. How that these two people who visit God every day, God come down in the cool of the evening and visit where they could ask him any questions. They could have talked to him. He was wide open to them like no man has ever been wide open to God. They visit, they talked, they communicated, and they could have knew anything they wanted to know. How can they see that great power? Adam's seen him create the animals. He named them. God told us, Adam, you name them. And then he named them. Every name you see on animals, that was given by Adam. And yet we see that this snake that could talk influenced them more than God did. I wonder how that is. I see people that saved and been saved for years, and they live for the Lord for years, and they get to know God real good, and God comes into their life, and they pray, and God answers their prayers, and God takes care of them, heals them. And all of a sudden, for strange reasons, they just quit serving God anymore. That kind of bothers me, because I don't understand why people do that. Let me tell you something. There's only one way to heaven, and that's through Jesus Christ. No other way. You want to go to heaven, you got to follow Jesus Christ. If you don't follow Jesus Christ, you can't get there. And if you follow him, he'll get you there. You say, where would I go if I don't follow Jesus? If I can't go to heaven, you will go to hell. And I don't like to say that all the time, but it looks like lately I have to. But I want you to tell you something. You can't get out of that place. And that is not a pleasant place. There was a man that I was working with one day, who was a Baptist preacher that backslid. He said, we were talking about the Lord. He said, he said, I knew a man. He said that if he would, if there's no beer and drinking and wild women in heaven, he said that would be hell for him. That Baptist preacher looked at me with a half grin. He's backslid, so he looked at me with a half grin on his face, and he said, what do you think about that? I looked at him, I said, well, I'm going to tell you, they don't have alcohol and wild women in hell either. I said, that's not what hell's all about. And his face dropped, and his countenance dropped. I said, when you go to hell, I said, that's torment. I said, you either take Jesus in heaven, or you take hell and the devil. That's up to you. And I'll tell you what, he quit his job that day. I was working on the boat, he was my deckhand. He quit his job, and he had to get away from me, I guess. But I want to tell you something. This is what I believe. I believe Jesus loves you, do everything he can for you, and he's trying to get you to heaven. And that's all I'm trying to do, is get you to heaven. I want you to go to heaven. I want you to make heaven your home. That's what I want to happen. And if you'll do that, I'll tell you, I'll be glad, and you'll be glad too.
I want to thank you for listening today. Any message greater than preaching Jesus? Like in our intro, we raised Jesus up to the standard where he should be. He's so diminished in America today. Anybody who you believe in Jesus, you're in this